Jason, start.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right. Want to talk into this?
Yeah, go ahead, talk to me.
Well, I kind of feel like how you love Akron, or just what you hate about it, kind of
Oh,
So
Some things you like, some things you don't like, what you'd like to see changed.
Well, I see one thing I like to see about Akron is I like to see them build it up some. I think it's gone to trash a lot. Since it was booming back like in the late in the 60s, maybe 70s, that they haven't done really too much to it. Akron News bought up everything, and I think that's like a shame that they do that. It should be back to where there should be jobs down here in Akron, like put some stores in, like retail, maybe some restaurants, instead of leaving it empty, And see, that's kind of like being like an eyesore. And you see these people that's come up by, when they ask you for like money, they pay handle. Why can't they just go on ahead and just the authorities go ahead, like crack down on that and put a stop, and why don't they just find like a job and leave us, citizens alone, That's how I feel about it.
Kurt, did you want to comment?
Yeah, basically what I want to say is that in order for Akron to revitalize itself, I think the first thing we need to do is address the issue. And the issue is the high crime rate. Who wants to come to downtown Akron to shop or do their eating out or just go to a ball game or something like that when there's so much crime? Just for instance, just Tuesday afternoon, there was a gentleman with cerebral palsy who was attacked by two urban terrorists that took $50 from him after they knocked him down, and the gentleman had cerebral palsy. Why don't we put a police levy on the ballot in Akron? Why doesn't the city council and the mayor address these issues that frankly are destroying the city and causing the urban decay to happen? Akron could be a great place as long as we have the people that are going to help protect and make the city what it is, and also preserve everyone's constitutional rights, which is to promote the general welfare and to ensure domestic tranquility. How can you do that when you don't have police on the streets or a city government that doesn't seem to care about the full potential of the police force?
thoughts about that, Mike? About the police?
Mike, what are your comments on the safety of Akron? The current situation and how it could be improved.
How I think it could be improved is I think the mayor should have a talk and maybe have more police on the force instead of going ahead and like laying some of these cops off,
Can I make some comment about that?
Yes.
The way that's going to work, Mike, and I applaud you for wanting to have more police on the force, and I agree with you totally, but the thing is, we don't have the resources to pay for that right now, unfortunately, and the only way I think the citizens would be able to support such a situation is if there's a police-only levy on the ballot, because it seems like the city government is robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then again they're robbing Paul to pay Peter, and they're moving money from places that shouldn't be moved to. But if you were to put a police-only levy on the ballot, I think that's one tax increase that the citizens would appreciate and would also support, because frankly, if you don't have your safety, you don't have your jobs, you don't have your lifestyle, you don't have your neighbors, and that's the other thing, is we've lost a sense of community these days in the city.
Mike, the last point that Kurt just hit on, the sense of community in Akron. How do you feel that? Do you agree with that? Disagree?
I do agree about it. What he says, 100%. And I think there should be more cops, out on the street, patrolling with some of the crimes that's been going on,
And do you think the community events that are offered in Akron do a good job at trying to create a greater sense of community, to get a chance to meet other Akronites and mingle and get to know each other?
No.
No? So you think there should be more? The event should be structured differently?
I think it's a lot. I think it's a lot of window dressing. First of all, it's to make certain people look good that have the power, when in fact they really don't care until election time. Come election time, our government officials locally or nationally or statewide, they don't care about the people. They care about what's good for them and what's good for their friends. That's why you see such nepotism and such inner circle attitudes in government too. And in local government's a whole nother issue which we don't have time to talk about, but maybe some other time. But it's just, we got to get a police-only levy on the ballot. That's first and foremost. Safety forces are very important to keep a community going strong. If you don't have safety forces, you don't have community, and you don't have the economy to make this a thriving town what it needs to be. And that's where I stand with that. And with that, I'll hand it over to Mike to finish off the conversation.
Just like some closing thoughts.
Well, I can see Akron is a nice place to be. You know, I've lived here about all my life. I've, put up with what people's talk about, But then what I do hate what I don't like is people that has to go ahead and take a bus to, to those places, you gotta hear, you gotta hear people's problems on the bus, all the vulgar, all the, stipulations that they're going through, I think they should go ahead and just keep that at home, I don't think nobody really wants to hear that. I know, just people should learn to, respect other ones when if they're in car or on a bus, just be nice.
Right. I think that's a good